Have you noticed that beauty today feels different? Not just the trends, but the texture of it. Our faces are smoother, our bodies slimmer, our features more symmetrical. But they're also strangely similar, as if the algorithm has decided what beautiful looks like. And the rest of us are just catching up. Once upon a time, beauty was emotional, cultural, even spiritual. It was about expression, an act of self-creation. But now, beauty feels engineered, optimized, technologically managed. The new face of femininity isn't painted in lipstick or perfume. It's built through filters, injectables, AI editing tools, and prescription apps. We've entered an era where beauty is no longer found, it's produced. And like all products of techno-capitalism, it promises empowerment while quietly deepening control. In this video, we're going to explore how technology has transformed beauty from a personal ritual into a corporate system, a seamless interface between the human body and the digital market. We'll look at the rise of medicalized skincare, the fantasy of detectability, and the aesthetic of soulless perfection. We'll trace how beauty moved from mirrors to screens, from art to data, and we'll ask the hardest question of all: what happens when we stop being beautiful and start performing beauty for machines? Hello everyone, my name is Laura, and welcome to my channel. This video is in partnership with Brevo. Lately, I've been thinking about how connection has changed. We write fewer letters, make fewer calls, and yet somehow we're speaking to more people than ever. But are we really connecting? That's why I wanted to share something that feels a little different, something that brings the human touch back into the digital space. Brevo is an all-in-one marketing automation and CRM platform built for small business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketing professionals, and e-commerce brands, for anyone who wants their communication to feel less like marketing and more like a conversation. With Brevo, you can send personalized email campaigns that actually feel personal, reach your audience through SMS, WhatsApp, and chat all in one place. Use marketing automation and Aura AI to save time while keeping your voice intact, and grow through analytics and CRM tools that help you nurture real relationships, not just numbers. It's everything you need to simplify your marketing, boost engagement, and drive meaningful growth beautifully, thoughtfully, and intentionally. If you're ready to build something that lasts, something human, you can try Brevo using my link. And this is below in the description box and pinned comment. And use code LauraJane to save 50% off the starter or standard plan for your first 3 months. And this offer is valid for new paying customers only, because connection shouldn't be automated out of existence. It should be designed with care. Alright, now let's jump back into the main video. Chapter 1: When beauty became biomedical. Once, beauty was sold in lipstick tubes and perfume bottles. Today it's sold in syringes, devices, and drugs. The beauty aisle has merged with the pharmacy counter, and our vanities have started to look more like lab benches. There's a new kind of luxury now. Not the glamour of red lipstick or the mystery of perfume, but the quiet precision of medical-grade skincare, the sleek packaging of peptide serums, the promise of bioavailable actives. The modern woman's beauty routine sounds more like a treatment plan than a ritual. Hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, retinol, Ozempic, Botox, microneedling. Beauty has become a science experiment, and the subject is us. We used to play with beauty. Now we manage it. The dream isn't youth anymore, it's maintenance. A face that appears naturally enhanced. The kind of beauty that whispers, not shouts. You're not trying to look different, you're trying to look well. And that word wellness has quietly replaced beauty as the vocabulary of modern femininity. But the irony is, wellness has become its own form of work. The idea of self-care used to mean slowing down, nourishing yourself, lighting a candle, taking a moment. But now, self-care looks suspiciously like self-surveillance, tracking your sleep, your calories, your steps, your skincare progress. The mirror isn't reflective anymore, it's diagnostic, and the body has become a system that can be constantly upgraded, debugged, and optimized. We tell ourselves it's empowerment, taking control of our appearances, using science to rewrite the rules. But sometimes empowerment and control are just two sides of the same coin. This didn't happen overnight. In the mid-20th century, beauty marketing sold emotion, glamour, fantasy, and aspiration. Estee Lauder promised sophistication. Max Factor promised movie magic. The Vanity was a stage where you perform femininity. It was theatrical, even romantic. Skincare was indulgence. A cold cream before bed, a spritz of perfume, a touch of powder. Then came the 80s and 90s, the rise of the anti-aging era. Suddenly, beauty wasn't about fantasy anymore. It was about fear of time, of wrinkles, of becoming invisible. Science entered the chat. Brands began using the language of chemistry, AHA acids, collagen renewal, cell turnover. It sounded intelligent, authoritative, almost moral. By the 2010s, that language had evolved into something even more insidious, the wellness industrial complex. Beauty became a dirty word, shallow, feminine, and outdated. Wellness, on the other hand, sounded virtuous, clean, and holistic. And in that rebrand, the beauty industry didn't die. It just put on a lab coat. Serums became treatments. Moisturizer turned into barrier repair. Mascara became lash growth serum. Even our vocabulary shifted from enhancement to correction. The woman who once wanted to decorate her face now wants to fix it. And just like that, beauty was no longer about adornment. It was about optimization. Technology accelerated the transformation. Instagram made the face a public performance. The close-up camera lens turned skin texture, something no one used to think twice about, into a visible flaw. TikTok turned dermatology into entertainment, chemical peels, extraction videos, dupes before and afters. And YouTube skincare influencers became amateur chemists, teaching millions how to decode ingredient lists as if they were holy texts. Our reflection became a project, not a presence. And with every new device, app, and algorithm, project became more data-driven. Smart mirrors now tell us our skin age. LED masks claim to reprogram our cells. AI skin scanners build digital twins of our face to track progress over time. There are apps that analyze your pores, quantify your radiance, and recommend clinical interventions based on machine learning. We no longer look at ourselves, we analyze ourselves. The language of beauty has become coldly technical: barrier support, skin microbiome, glycation, collagen density. These are real scientific concepts, but when applied to our faces, they blur into something existential. When beauty becomes biomedical, imperfection becomes pathology, and so we treat our bodies like malfunctioning devices. Every blemish needs intervention, every wrinkle an upgrade, every pore a problem. The result is a generation of women who know everything about skincare science, but almost nothing about how to feel beautiful. We no longer ask, do I like how I look? We ask, does my data say I'm improving? It's a subtle but devastating shift from feeling to measuring, from experience to output. Even our concept of natural beauty has been reprogrammed. Once natural meant minimal, a touch of blush, messy hair, freckles showing. Now, natural means work that doesn't look like work, Botox that doesn't freeze, filler that doesn't show, makeup that blends seamlessly with your skin barrier. The modern ideal is invisibility, effort disguised as ease. It's the same logic as the effortless aesthetic, beauty that conceals its own labor. Except now, the labor isn't just emotional or aesthetic, it's medical. There's a quiet hierarchy built in this new paradigm. Not everyone can afford laser facials, injectables, or prescription skincare, but because they're framed as maintenance, not luxury, the absence of them starts to feel like neglect. She looks tired becomes code for she doesn't manage herself. Wellness, which was supposed to be healing, becomes another metric of moral worth. And the cruelest part, the more advanced the treatments become, the more invisible the results must be. You're not supposed to look like you've had work done. You're supposed to look like you were just born better. It's no longer enough to be beautiful. You have to look biologically optimized. This is what beauty looks like in the age of techno-capitalism. Not pleasure, not art, not self-expression, but maintenance. The woman as machine, updated regularly, running the latest firmware. Maybe that's progress, or maybe it's just a new kind of cage, sleek, clinical, and softly lit in LED. Because when beauty becomes biomedical, it stops being a celebration of the body and becomes a constant audit of it. And maybe the saddest part is that we've learned to call that self-care. Chapter 2, the algorithmic face. Every generation had its own ideal face. In the 1950s, it was Grace Kelly, porcelain symmetry, composure, the face of order in a post-war world, craving stability. In the 1990s, it was the heroin chic model, hollow cheeks, angular bones, and a kind of glamorous emptiness that mirrored the decade's cynicism. But today's beauty ideal is something stranger, something that doesn't quite exist in nature. Big eyes, plump lips, high cheekbones, narrow nose, lifted brows, and a snatched jawline. A face so uniform, so hyper-real, that it feels less human than rendered. We call it the Instagram face, but here's the twist. No one invented it. There was no marketing campaign, no beauty mogul, no movie star who started it. It wasn't designed in a studio or painted on a billboard. It emerged quietly, organically from the algorithm. This new beauty ideal wasn't created by taste or culture, but by code. Through filters, AI editing, and facial recognition, the algorithm has built its own aesthetic logic, a kind of visual feedback loop where the faces that perform best online are the ones that come to define what beauty is. The smoother, the more symmetrical, the more exaggerated, the higher the engagement, and so the machine learns from us, and we learn from the machine. We sculpt our faces to please the algorithm, and the algorithm rewards us with visibility. It's not evolution by nature, but evolution by data. This is what it means to live in the age of algorithmic beauty. The rules of attraction aren't written by culture anymore. They're written by engagement metrics. Beauty is no longer what moves us, but what moves the numbers. What performs becomes ideal. What gets clicks becomes aspirational. The algorithm doesn't care about identity, meaning, or artistry. It cares about retention time. Historically, beauty was shaped by culture, by philosophy, by social values. Ancient Greece idealized harmony and proportion because it reflected their belief in order and irrationality. The Renaissance celebrated vitality and softness because beauty was tied to divinity. Even the 20th century, for all its artifice, still had an emotional center. Glamour, rebellion, innocence, sensuality. Beauty meant something. It was storytelling. But now, beauty has lost its narrative. It's not about what the face expresses, but how it performs. A face that works online isn't necessarily expressive or captivating. It's symmetrical, predictable, and efficient. It loads well, is optimized for the scroll. The Instagram face is proof of the new order. It's a hybrid aesthetic that blends traits from multiple ethnicities while erasing one specific ethnicity. A kind of post-racial, post-human face. Golden tan skin, cat eyes, full lips, contoured nose, and a blank expression that being read as sexy, aspirational, or pure depending on the caption. It's the face of globalization, capitalism, and code, the perfect intersection of markability and neutrality. A face that offends no one, but seduces everyone. And the irony is that while the tools of beauty, filters, face apps, and AI promise personalization, they've made our faces more standardized than ever before. We can morph, reshape, and retouch ourselves infinitely, but the result is always the same template: smooth, symmetrical, and compliant. The more we edit, the more we converge. It's an aesthetic monoculture, a digital conformity disguised as individuality. You can see it everywhere. On TikTok, beauty influencers across continents now have the same face ratio, the same contour pattern, the same foxy eye lift. In celebrity culture, the same cosmetic blueprint is replaced in every enhanced face, from LA to Seoul to Dubai. Even AI-generated influencers like Lil Miquela and Shudu have adopted this formula, human enough to seem relatable, but flawless enough to transcend humanity. The algorithmic face is the new biometric uniform, optimized not for the world, but for the camera. It's not about being photogenic, it's about being recognizable to the system. These faces don't exist to express emotion, they exist to trigger recognition, retention, and conversion. They've decided to be liked, and that word like has quietly replaced beautiful. The psychology of beauty has always been tied to visibility, but the algorithm has weaponized that desire. We don't just want to be seen, we want to circulate. The pretty privilege of the digital age isn't about looks, it's about legibility. Can your face be processed easily? Does it fit the standard that keeps viewers scrolling? Does it trigger the pattern of recognition that the algorithm rewards? So we adjust ourselves to fit. We lift our faces, contour our cheeks, filter our features, and edit our photos not just to feel confident, but to remain visible, to stay within the frame of desirability that technology has drawn for us. The danger is that this loop is self-reinforcing. The more these faces dominate our feeds, the more we internalize them as normal. The more normalized they become, the less we can tell where digital manipulation ends and biology begins. What used to be the uncanny valley, that eerie, almost human feeling, is now aspirational. We want to look slightly unreal, and maybe that's the most unsettling part. The algorithmic face isn't a glitch, it's the goal. A version of humanity so smooth it no longer threatens imperfection. Because the algorithm doesn't love emotion. It doesn't love wrinkles or complexity or asymmetry. It loves clarity, predictability, and efficiency. It loves the face that fits the frame. But in optimizing ourselves for visibility, we've lost something vital: our faces. once the most intimate reflection of who we are, have become performance interfaces. Expressions have flattened into poses. Smiles have become branding. Even sadness has a filter now. We're living through the mass production of faces. A digital renaissance where the artist and the subject are both automated. But unlike the Renaissance, the art doesn't celebrate the divine in the human. It celebrates the algorithmic in the human. And maybe that's why when we scroll through our feeds full of flawless, glowing, symmetrical faces, we don't feel awe or envy anymore. We feel something colder, fatigue, because we're not just looking at beauty, we're looking at a new species of image, one that no longer reflects humanity, but replaces it. The face that used to be the canvas for individuality, emotion, and experience, now it's a submission form, a face that performs well for the system. The algorithm doesn't care if it's you, it cares that it works. And perhaps that's the cruelest irony of all. The more we perfect our faces to be seen, the less we actually exist within them. Chapter 3, the soulless glow. Beauty feels soulless. That's how one creator put it, and she's right. There's hollowness to beauty culture now, even in its perfection. Skin so glassy it reflects nothing. Faces that move like avatars. Smiles that feel more rehearsed than felt. It's not that we've stopped caring about beauty, it's that we've lost the why behind it. What was once an intimate act of adornment has become a kind of performance, a constant calibration to stay visible, desirable, and relevant in the digital marketplace of faces. Part of this emptiness comes from the way technology reframes feeling. When beauty is mediated through a screen, it stops being about how you experience your face and starts being about how your face performs digitally. The goal isn't sensuality anymore, it's legibility. Your skin isn't supposed to feel soft, it's supposed to look luminous on camera. Your blush isn't for warmth, it's for engagement. The body becomes something you curate from a distance, a 2D representation designed for algorithmic approval rather than personal pleasure. The shift mirrors the logic of technology itself. In the age of optimization, everything must be functional, efficient, and measurable. Even our emotions are tracked, analyzed, and repackaged as data. The beauty ideal has followed suit. Streamlined, uniform, data-friendly. Our faces have become like user interfaces, smooth, readable, and efficient. A new kind of digital minimalism has replaced the mystery of sensuality. Beauty is no longer an art, it's a user experience. The old rituals of beauty, the perfume, the hairbrush, the compact mirror, once invited intimacy. They asked you to spend time with yourself, to pause, to touch, to notice. There was something sacred about those small acts of self-care, because they created space for reflection. Now the mirror has been replaced by a ring light, and the rituals has been replaced by content. The process of becoming beautiful has become externalized, not about feeling beautiful, but about appearing beautiful to others. The soul of beauty has been replaced by a metric. Maybe that's why we keep buying more devices, more creams, more apps. Not because we're chasing improvement, but because we're chasing feeling. We've lost the emotional connection that used to come from beauty, so we try to buy it back. But technology has changed our expectations of what beauty is supposed to feel like. We expect instant results, quantifiable progress, visible transformation. The dopamine hit of a purchase replaces the slower satisfaction of the ritual. And yet beneath all of this, there's a strange kind of grief. We're grieving the loss of beauty as something felt. Once upon a time, beauty was sensory. It was a texture, a scent, a sound. The clink of a lipstick case, the powdery smell of a face compact, the soft rustle of a gown. These experiences grounded us in our bodies. Now beauty feels weightless, frictionless, and detached from the tactile world. It exists mostly in pixels, bright, smooth, and hollow. This flattening of beauty has emotional consequences. When our faces become performance interfaces, we lose the spontaneity of expression. Smiles are calibrated for selfies, eyes are widened for filters. We perform emotions rather than feeling them. Even authenticity becomes aestheticized. The no makeup selfie, the candid laugh, the tear-streaked video, all carefully curated to seem uncurated. The performance of sincerity has replaced sincerity itself. This is what it means to live in the age of the soulless glow. The modern beauty ideal is ethereal but empty, of radiance without warmth. The glow we chase isn't vitality, it's visibility. It's not about health but readability. The algorithm rewards the smooth, the bright, the clear, the consistent. And so we learn to glow for the camera, even when we don't feel alive inside. There's also a deeper psychological toll at play here. When every reflection is mediated by a camera or filter, we begin to internalize the image more than the feeling. We start thinking of our faces not as expressions of who we are, but as ongoing projects, things to be managed, upgraded, perfected. This creates a kind of emotional disassociation. We no longer inhabit our appearances, we observe them. Our reflection has become a stranger we are constantly editing. Historically, beauty rituals were ways of grounding the self. Ancient Egyptians painted their eyes not just for adornment, but for spiritual protection. In the 18th century, perfume wasn't just fragrance, it was identity. Even mid-century makeup rituals were tied to emotion. The red lipstick before a date, the perfume that marked an era of your life. But in the digital age, those associations have been flattened. Makeup and skincare are no longer symbolic gestures, they're maintenance tasks. The clinical detachment has turned beauty into a kind of labor. Women are expected to maintain themselves constantly, to look effortlessly, to glow without revealing the exhaustion behind it. The soul has been replaced by a sheen. The result is a generation of women who are visually perfected but emotionally depleted, constantly producing beauty without ever feeling beautiful. The emotional fatigue shows up everywhere. Influencers speak openly about beauty burnout, the exhaustion of maintaining the illusion of perfection. Dermatologists report patients with mirror dysmorphia, a new phenomenon where people feel disconnected from their unfiltered reflections. Even the rise of AI beauty avatars, digital doubles designed to represent us online, reflects our growing comfort with artificiality. We're not just editing our images, we're outsourcing them. But maybe this hollowness, this soulless glow, is not the end of beauty, but a sign of what happens when something once sacred becomes commodified. When beauty is stripped of meaning and turned into performance, it loses its spiritual texture. We no longer see beauty as a language of self-expression or connection. We see it as a form of productivity. Every product, every treatment, every post has to yield results, engagement, validation, and return on investment. Beauty has been absorbed into the logic of capitalism, and the glow we're left with is the fluorescence of the screen. And yet, in this sterile landscape, small rebellions are beginning to appear. The rise of ugly beauty, the resurgence of natural texture, the popularity of makeup-free photos all hint at a collective fatigue with perfection. These trends may still exist with the capitalist machine, but they express a deeper longing, the desire to feel human again. Because when beauty loses its soul, what we're really mourning isn't aesthetics, it's connection. The connection to ourselves, to each other, to the moments of quiet that used to make beauty feel meaningful. Maybe the antidote to the soulless glow isn't more products or filters, but less. Maybe it's the return of slowness, imperfection, ritual, the kind of beauty you can't capture on a screen, only feel in a moment. So yes, beauty feels soulless now, but maybe that's not the end of the story. Maybe it's the beginning of remembering that beauty was never meant to be seen, it was meant to be felt. Chapter 4, From Vanity to Surveillance. Here's the chilling part. The beauty industry has quietly become a surveillance system. Your face, once the most intimate and expressive part of you, is now a piece of biometric data. Every time you use a beauty filter, scan your skin with an app, or adjust your selfie with AI, you're feeding information into a global network of recognition systems. What once began as a playful self-expression has become a form of digital extraction. The mirror is no longer a surface of reflection, it's an interface of data collection. We used to think of beauty as something personal, even private, a secret between you and your reflection. But in the digital age, your reflection doesn't belong to you anymore. Each selfie, filter, and uploaded image becomes a data point, a fragment of your digital identity that can be measured, categorized, and sold. Facial recognition tools, AR filters, and AI-powered beauty apps are not innocent technologies. They learn from us. Every contour we smooth, every pore we erase, every angle we perfect teaches the machine what desirable looks like. The more we filter our faces, the more we train artificial intelligence to recognize and replicate those filtered versions of beauty. What's emerging is a new kind of feedback loop between the human and the machine. We idealize what technology rewards, and technology in turn rewards what it has learned from our ideals. The more data we give it, the more refined its definition of beauty becomes. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. one where the algorithm doesn't just mirror our insecurities, it monetizes them. Beauty has always been about power, who defines it, who controls it, who profits from it. But now, the power isn't held by artists, editors, or advertisers. It's held by corporations and algorithms. The beauty gaze, once male, now mechanical, has become the machine gaze. It's omnipresent, invisible, and always watching. And historically, women were conditioned to see themselves through the eyes of men. Art, media, and advertising taught women to internalize the external gaze, to judge themselves as they might be seen. John Berger famously called it the surveyor and the surveyed. The woman split in two, the one who watches and the one being watched. But today, the gaze has evolved into something more insidious. We no longer see ourselves through the eyes of men. We see ourselves through the eyes of the algorithm. It's still surveillance, just more polite, more personalized, and more pink. The algorithmic gaze doesn't catcall or criticize, it quantifies. It tells you how many likes your face earns, how much engagement your skin tone generates, which angles increase retention. It transforms beauty into a set of metrics. And every time you participate, you're offering yourself up for analysis. What was once vanity has become data submission. And it doesn't stop at filters or selfies. The entire infrastructure of beauty tech is built on surveillance. AR try-on tools scan your face to match you with the perfect foundation. Fitness and wellness apps track your weight, your movement, and sleep patterns. Cosmetic companies now use AI to generate personal skincare formulas based on biometric information collected from thousands of faces. Your pores, your wrinkles, and your pigment all become valuable data points in a system designed to sell you back your own insecurities. This is the new economy of beauty, one that thrives not on admiration, but on extraction. You're both the product and the raw material. Think about it. When you upload a selfie to an AI beauty app, you're not just altering your image, you're contributing to a database that will be used to train machine learning models capable of generating even more optimized human faces. Those models will be sold back to you in the form of filters, targeted ads, and digital avatars that look eerily familiar. It's a perfect circle of commodification, where your likeness fuels the very system that shapes your perception of what's attractive. This isn't narcissism, it's digital labor. Every upload, every edit, every scroll is unpaid work that sustains the machinery of the beauty industrial complex. It's a form of participation that feels voluntarily but is actually systemic. You're not just engaging with content, you're feeding the algorithm the raw materials it needs to grow smarter, more persuasive, more profitable. The implications of this go far beyond vanity. Facial recognition technology developed under the guise of convenience and personalization has already been weaponized for surveillance. Governments and corporations use these systems to monitor behavior, track movement, even predict emotion. The same technology that smooths your face, the same technology that smooths your skin in a filter can identify you in a crowd. The same AI that helps you find the best angle can also profile your demographic, estimate your age, and analyze your expressions. And because the beauty data is disproportionately generated by women, the system inherently carries gendered implications. Women's faces, their movements, gestures, and expressions are among the most captured and commodified visual assets on the internet. In this sense, the digital beauty economy mirrors centuries of patriarchal dynamics. Women's bodies are public property, their images as currency, except now the currency is data, and the buyer is invisible. The tragedy is that we've been taught to see this as empowerment. We're told that filters and digital enhancement give us control, that self-documentation is self-expression, and that participating in the algorithmic gaze is a way to own your own image. But the ownership is an illusion. The minute our image enters the network, it belongs to the system. The empowerment we feel is temporary, the data we give away is permanent. Even the language of beauty tech, smart mirrors, AI skin analysis, and personalized recommendation disguises its surveillance nature. The more we interact, the more the system learns. Every scan is a surrender. Every suggestion, an act of manipulation disguised as customization. It's no longer Big Brother watching, it's Big Beauty. tracking, analyzing, and monetizing. And yet, we rarely question it because it doesn't feel like surveillance. It feels playful, interactive, empowering. We're too busy posing for the camera, adjusting the lighting, perfecting the angle. But underneath the pink branding and sleek design, the truth is unsettling. Beauty has become an infrastructure for surveillance capitalism. We've entered an era where looking at ourselves is also a form of being watched. Our mirrors are cameras. Our makeup routines are content. Our beauty rituals are data pipelines. And perhaps the most disturbing part is how normal it all feels. We've learned to equate being seen with being safe, being visible with being valued. Once vanity was about self-admiration, a gaze directed inward. Now it's about exposure, a gaze that looks back. The modern woman stands before her ring light, phone in hand, thinking she's taking control of her image, but in truth, she's feeding it to the machine. The face that once symbolized identity, emotion, and individuality has become a login credential. And maybe that's the quiet horror of our time. The realization that the very tools we use to feel beautiful are the same ones being used to watch us. Chapter 5. The search for the real. Every system eventually creates its opposite. And in the glittering, glass-skin worlds of filters, fillers, and flawless lighting, a quiet rebellion is beginning to take shape. Amid the Botox appointments and AI skin analysis, there's a growing hunger for something unedited, something that feels raw. Raw selfies, texture skin, Polaroids with bad lighting, the return of grain, blur, and imperfection. The ugly beauty movement, as it's been called, is not really about ugliness at all. It's about relief. Relief from the suffocating smoothness of digital perfection. It's the aesthetic equivalent of taking off your shoes after a long day. Imperfect, messy, and grounding. What's happening isn't entirely new. Every age of aesthetic control births its own resistance. In the 1970s, punk erupted against the shimmer and glam of rock in the earlier decade, replacing sequins with safety pins, rebellion with authenticity. In the 1990s, grunge rose up against the glossy supermodel culture, rejecting the airbrush ideals of the runway for ripped jeans and smudge eyeliner. Today, ugly beauty serves as the same function. It's not anti-beauty, it's anti-uniformity. It's the body saying, let me exist without optimization. But what does real even mean anymore? That's the question haunting this cultural moment. When filters can simulate pores and freckles, when makeup-free photos are edited to appear authentic and flawed, authenticity itself becomes a performance. The line between what's natural and what's simulated has dissolved, leaving us with an aesthetic of performed imperfection, one that signals honesty while still being highly curated. Scroll through social media and you'll see this everywhere. Influencers posting candid selfies with captions like, just woke up. Though the lighting is perfect and the hair is deliberately undone, brands now market no makeup routines that require 10 products to look like this. Even acne-positive campaigns, once radical for showing unretouched skin, are now folded neatly into marketing strategies. We've commodified realness, repackaged vulnerability as a brand identity. This is the paradox of our time. The more we crave authenticity, the more it is manufactured for us. But beneath the marketing, the desire is genuine. There's a deep aching need to feel alive, inside our own faces again, to look at our reflection and see a person, not a project, not an algorithmic product, but a living, changing, feeling being. We are collectively tired of existing as digital representations. We want to return to something tactile, sensory, and embodied. Part of this longing comes from emotional exhaustion. We spent years curating our images, fine-tuning our skin, aligning ourselves with trends that change faster than we can keep up. We've become our own brand managers, constantly optimizing not just how we look, but how we appear to feel. The constant self-presentation leaves little room for actual emotion. The cracks, the wrinkles, the texture, the tiredness become the only spaces where the truth can leak out. So we've started to romanticize those cracks, to fetishize imperfection as the last sight of honesty. It's no coincidence that film photography, analog camcorders, and photo dumps have come back into fashion. The appeal isn't just nostalgia, it's friction. A Polaroid can be edited, a film camera blurs. The imperfections create a sense of grounding that digital perfection can't replicate. They remind us of time, of impermanence, of texture, of failure. When every digital image promises eternity, the beauty of film lies in its mortality. This longing for the real isn't just aesthetic, it's spiritual. The digital beauty economy promises transcendence, the ability to rise above flaws, to smooth out humanity itself. But transcendence without grounding becomes alienation. The ugly beauty movement offers a kind of return, a reclamation of the ordinary as sacred. Freckles, scars, and wrinkles, the marks of life itself, become proof of existence. Still, this yearning is not immune to capitalism. Within months, the very rebellion against perfection becomes another product line. Skincare companies now sell skin barrier creams that promise to embrace your natural texture. Influencers post videos titled, "How to Achieve the Effortless Look," that require a full skincare routine. Even the term authentic has become a marketing buzzword. Imperfection is now an aesthetic curated, lit, and filtered to look spontaneous. The rebellion gets absorbed because that's what capitalism does best. It turns dissent into design. It packages resistance into something purchasable. It knows that we will pay for the illusion of freedom. But the persistence of this cycle doesn't erase the truth of desire underneath it. The craving for realness, even when commodified, still signals something deeply human. It's a collective whisper beneath the noise of perfection. I just want to feel like myself again. The search for the real is not about rejecting beauty. It's about reclaiming feeling. It's about shifting from visibility to intimacy, from performance to presence. It's the difference between looking at your reflection and recognizing yourself. And perhaps that's the quiet revolution happening now. The new icons of beauty aren't the flawless influencers or the surgically sculpted celebrities. They're the ones who look human, the ones who show their pores, their laugh lines, and texture. Not as statements, but as truths. The ones that remind us that beauty has always been about connection, not perfection. There's something profoundly feminist about this shift, too. For centuries, women's bodies have been scrutinized, edited, and evaluated, whether by the male gaze, the media gaze, or now the algorithmic one. To proclaim imperfection is to proclaim agency. To say, this is my face, this is my skin, and I don't owe anyone symmetry or smoothness, is an act of quiet resistance. Still, this journey towards the real is messy. We are learning how to unlearn, how to stop curating every moment for our existence, how to live in a liminal space between performance and truth. The tools of perfection are still everywhere, in our phones, in our products, and our reflexes. But slowly, collectively, we're beginning to remember what it feels like to just be. Maybe that's what ugly beauty really represents. Not a rejection of beauty, but an evolution of it. A beauty that makes room for texture, for contradiction and truth, a beauty that breathes. Because at its core, the search for the real is not about how we look, it's about how we feel inside the skin we've been taught to treat as a problem. It's about finding home in our reflection again. And maybe that's the most radical act of all, to stop performing beauty and start inhabiting it. To let the mirror become a place of return, not to who we think we should be, but to who we already are. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts on all this. It does creep me out thinking that like all our faces are solely just being manufactured by AI and we don't even realize that the beauty ideal now isn't like chosen by the media, it's chosen by the AI and the robots, and it's like the robots are taking over and eventually we're all gonna look like weird cyborgs. I don't know, it creeps me out. I never really thought about it that way, but now I think about it more, because everyone does look the same, and I kind of blame the Kardashians in many ways because they have that weird AI face. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts.